It is so good to see you guys. How are you, Jenna?
Hey, hey
Brad?
Al,
Hey,
Jenna.
everybody.
Hey,
Brad,
how's it
Al.
going?
A
Hey,
lot
Al.
of a lot of good news out there, right? In DJI land, especially the Air 3 stuff. Man,
Yeah,
what do you guys think
speculation.
about that, Jenna? Do you think it's coming out soon? What do you think?
That might be good because a friend of mine, Nancy, which I think you met down at South Florida.
Yeah, she's in the market.
She got her she got her drone stuck up in a tree, and she is kind of in a market for a drone now. She might get the Mini 3, but I also told her I might sell her my Air 2S if the Air 3 comes out, because maybe I get the Air 3 and I'd sell her my Air 2S.
If she
So,
if she if she wants something a little lighter, I got the Mini Two Flymore combo for sale, brand new. It's only maybe two flights on
okay.
it. Not to
Mine's
try to
got a
make
lot
a
more
sale on it.
flights, so buy Brad's. I'm trying to sell
Well,
mine.
I mean, the Air 2S is a much better drone than the Mini 2, but
Yeah.
if she didn't want to spend that kind of money or want something lighter like under 249 or 250 grams, the Mini 2 will cover that. And I don't know if the Mini 2 that doesn't have remote ID on it. I don't think. I'm not sure on that one.
Which apparently, if they don't ban DJI in the next little bit, who
Right.
knows? you know,
Yeah. Speak,
we'll have
Speaking
to.
about that, I was watching 51 drones earlier, Ross and Rut, and he was talking about that stuff about the DJI and banning how the government wants to ban those drones, and that video was right interesting. I'm gonna go back and revisit that, but there's a lot of talk about that.
Yeah,
Right.
the real reason why they want to ban DJI
Yeah,
drones.
that's it.
Gee,
That's
who's
it.
on the board of the commercial drone industry, whatever it is the list. That's quite interesting as far as its membership goes. And
It is.
there's probably a lot of self-serving interests going on
Yep.
there. Trump
Yeah,
got
and DJI is not going to have a leg to stand on, right? Because one of those on the board, or part of that bigger picture is Amazon. Amazon wants to
yeah,
do delivery, and they're still pushing for that, even though it's kind of died down, it's quieted down. But it's Amazon's worth what I think Russ was saying $550 billion compared to DJI's 4 billion.
4 billion. Sky
Yeah, so
Geo is on. There's folks from um,
yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy. So they don't have a leg to stand on if they try to, fight them like that. But with
no,
that, and he had a great point. They really should, and I agree with him. They should build a facility, a business here in the United States.
yeah,
You know, source the parts where you need to, and but create, build here, and sell here. That would alleviate a lot of the problems or the issues that the government has with them right now.
Yeah,
yeah,
I can see that market kind of maturing in that sense, kind of similar to Japan, right? And where we saw the manufacturer moved a lot to the U.S. At least the later stages of the assembly. So yeah, I can see that. But anyway, guys, let's talk some more about this. But let's bring our Bob into the conversation here. So let's give Bob a big welcome, guys. What's that? Hey, Bob,
Hey,
how you
Hey,
Bob,
doing?
Bob.
how you doing?
Hello.
Calvin,
Hey, I still have a voice left.
all the
that's
partying
right.
you've been
Tell us
doing
all
in
about the
Vegas.
Nevada hockey
We've been screaming
phenomenon.
our lungs out here, at the TV set, at the, parades and all kinds of stuff. I've never experienced, living in a city when we won the Stanley Cup. I did not understand how deep of a party that is. The Stanley Cup has now been to almost every nightclub in Las Vegas. It has been at almost every strip club in Las Vegas. It's been at a couple fast food restaurants. I mean, it's truly. I mean, it is just fascinating. Our star player, Jack Eichel, worked a 3-hour shift at Cane's Chicken Fingers, working the to-go window, handing people their food in a complete Cane's chicken uniform and everything. I mean, it is just like bizarro. The players are going out to the community. I mean, today, 2 blocks away here, the MVP of the playoffs was there, and I mean, it's just they're really endearing themselves to the community, you know.
That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, I don't know if any of you have seen the video. If you are interested, if you watch the parade and the staging of the after the parade, it's very amusing, and I understand on Instagram there's a complete unedited version of it, but they were on network TV and dropped every bomb, F bomb, S bomb, every bomb there possibly could be, and they had to. One of our star players immediately fell down the stairway. They were coming down off the stage. They picked him up. He ripped his shirt off and then started ranting for a while. They eventually had to physically carry him off the stage.
Wow.
It was quite a scene.
Wow, amazing. So, were you there firsthand to see how many games did they play right there in the Nevada arena?
We play 42 games during the regular season. The regular season is 82. 41 games are played in the arena here. I got to go to 5 of those this year, and then we start the playoffs. And of course, we finished number 1 in the Pacific Division, so we got home ice advantage for all the playoffs. And I got to go to 1 playoff game. So. But
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They win that game at home?
No.
Dang.
That was the first game they lost.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm going to corral the conversation back on topic about talking about the Air 3. And you made a comment, are they going to put an S on it? I think we were talking backstage.
Yeah.
And you said, what do you think is going to happen, Bob?
Well, I mean, it's this Air 2S has gotten such a good reputation. And I mean, so many people have given it the drone of the year, and if you're going to spend over $1,000, look at this. This is the one to look at.
That's my favorite drone.
I have one. And I had the original Air 2. And I had it for 4 months, and then I was one of the fortunate people. I got to do the Best Buy shuffle, because at the time Best Buy gave everybody 365 days to return it, for full refund, So I returned the Air 2, and the next day went there and bought the Air 2S, So and I've had it since the day it came out, and love that drone. I have, I've taken it everywhere in the world, and I love it.
Hey, you know what? Thinking about that, what'd be so interesting to look at your analytics and your log and see how many miles you put on that drone itself. I've done that before, and it's just amazing what you're going to go. That can't be right. 841 miles. You know what I mean? So just one day, you guys take a look at your analytics.
I will.
And see what your stats are.
Yeah.
And so always so interesting, because that favorite drone that you take everywhere, Jenna, yours is the Air 2S also, probably has a lot of miles on it, don't you think?
Probably, yeah. Although I have to tell you, the Mini 3 has been like stealing my heart, The Mini 3 Pro, I've been, that's got me hooked. And then
It's so common to have, an old mistress, right? I mean, you got that one, you got that one, but gotta have
Agreed.
I bought these.
Oh yeah.
This
That's
is the Avata thing,
is that the
Integra.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got okay. You got
yeah.
the
I bought
Integra
these to
version.
fly the Mini 3 Pro with, and
Oh, how's it going? Did you have no
It-
issues at all pairing it?
yeah, that's difficult. It took. I had to go back and forth. I had to sign into my account multiple times. I had to connect my phone to the goggles to activate it. I mean, it was. I felt it was way too much, and then switching back and forth, I felt was too much. Why is that? I have to go through all this to go back to this controller, and then back to that controller.
Yeah, I know, Brad. There you go. You were asking those questions earlier, so now you know. But yeah, we were discussing, how to do all that, and I know, Jenna, you're searching over there. You're looking for something.
Oh,
What do you have over there? What do you have?
well, when Bob was talking about
Okay, your goggles. Okay.
I mean, right? You can link up the Integras to it. So
Have you tried it, Jenna?
no, no.
Show us what you tried it on. No, I want to see.
Well, it wasn't these. These are for the Avata.
Okay.
These.
But you got O3 on that guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
These.
yeah.
Oh, you got the goggles too, and the Integras. Okay.
Right. Versus
The V2s.
these.
Right.
The
V2s. All these goggles are.
So all right. So these are linked to this.
Okay.
You have the 2.
Yeah. And
goggles
too.
this is the yeah. This is the 2.
That's that Axis drone.
And that's through another party's. You're connecting it to another company's connection.
This is the Vista that's on this.
Okay.
The O3.
Yeah.
And that pairs with
no, actually, this isn't the 03. This isn't the new one. This is I actually got this last year, but I just haven't flown it. So.
Oh, okay. You haven't flown the Axis one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is the Nazgul.
Yeah, that's the Nazgul. Sorry, I had him confused.
Yeah. Nazgul, yeah, the iFlight. So I got it last year, at the beginning of last year, saying, well, by the end of the summer, I'm going to fly this. But
I know. I love that thing.
I got busy, blah 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 blah, and something led to another, and then so I never got it up in the air. So long story short, I got it up in the air this past weekend for the first time ever flying something like this, because I had been flying, my little RC, this little guy here, and it's all green with grass, and so I flew that for a little bit, just kind of get shake some of the rust off, the manual mode, so to speak, and got it up, flew it around. One thing led to another, and I'm amazed at how robust that thing is, because after putting it up and flying through,
smashing it on the ground and bouncing it.
How dirty this one is, and this one is.
I know. Well, Brad's going to be flying one of mine soon. He has his controller all linked up now.
So, well, I never did hook the FPV RC2 yet to the Avata. I got that recently, so I still need to sync that all up, link it all up, and get it working. I do have the motion controller 1 for the Avata, and I have the goggles 2 for the Avata. I'm very thankful I've got all that, but the connection to a cell phone to get rid of that remote ID error is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it is. I do it and then connect, and then you can just pull the phone right out.
Well, but the problem is then if you record the goggles, the remote ID error stays in the goggles, right? And I think it stays on. And once you unplug, it comes back up with the remote ID. You can fly once you've got it up, right? I've heard you can unplug it, but you're going to have that remote ID error again, and then it'll be on the video on the screen, which I guess is not too bad, but that could be incriminating though.
Yes, yeah, I experienced a similar thing of flying where we started flying the Mini 3 Pro with the regular RC controller, and then when it's in the air, you just hover it someplace, and you put the Integra goggles on and turn them on, and takes about a minute, and all of a sudden you've got perfect video and you're doing the controls with the RC controller, but there's an error message in the window
In
the
your
whole
goggles?
time.
In your
Yeah.
goggles? And
In
what do
the
you
goggles.
see? What do you see on the display on the RC controller?
I never looked.
Yeah, so I'll sit there and hover so you can take those goggles off and just take a
Yeah,
peek, Bob. Let us know.
I'll try it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's going into the flight record. That error message is going into the flight record. And if you crash, either with an error message on there, and there's
Yeah.
an error message in the log, which in the flight record,
That's incriminating.
it could be, hey, you're flying this with a controller that we don't support. So
With
Hopefully
quadcopters
you can
and
put a
tech,
good argument.
he had a good point. You can turn off telemetry and the goggle recording, which I kind of knew that. I haven't done that yet.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's a really good actually thing to highlight here for everybody here. So let's
Ah.
take
Yeah, I've got a lot to learn with those goggles. I'm
Yeah,
loving them
nothing
though.
here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of avenues you can go down, and it's one of the things that probably like I'll spend maybe 3 batteries just practicing like split S's until I got them down, or doing power loops
Mhm.
until you get them down, and then and it just when you're having to do a disciplined turn versus just flying, all over the place, hey, I think I'll cruise here. Hey, oh, you know what I'm talking about. When you're doing a disciplined run, where
Uh-huh.
you have to do those things on time and at the right, with the right everything, it makes it so much harder, but it makes you a better pilot.
Yeah.
So it really does. So.
Yeah.
I can't wait to fly with Jenna now, because now you got your 5 inch running. Remember, you didn't want to get that thing up in the air for so long. So congratulations. How was that experience flying the 5 inch compared to your whoop? Right? Because
Yeah,
mostly you flew the 2.5 inch, or was it three and a
yeah.
half inch?
I was flying like this one for a while. Which is
Yeah.
the about a light, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 inch. Yeah, so it's a 3.5 inch.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
this is
But
nice.
that 5 inch there carries some momentum, like what you were discussing. Tell us a little bit about what we were
Yeah, it
discussing.
was fine. I mean, it was really nice. I was really surprised at just how smooth it was. And I had the GoPro on there, so I got GoPro footage. I mean, again, it was the first time that I had done it, and it was great. I just wish I hadn't crashed it the way I did, but
It was just a rough landing.
it was very rough. But I tell you, I mean, this thing handled it like a pro. I mean,
Yeah,
and
those 6 millimeter arms on it, man, are just amazing. And the
yeah,
thing is, you can buy parts all day long for that thing.
yeah,
All day long.
I was amazed. I mean, if this was any other drone, like
Yeah.
a camera drone, it'd have been in
Oh,
pieces.
all 4 arms would have been looking like a broken baby.
Yeah. Wires exposed and
Yeah, exactly. It'd be dangling by the wires, man.
Yeah, no,
That's what happened to mine. It looked like somebody broke his arm. That it was just like dangling. It was sad. But anyway, Jenna, tell us. I can't wait till you get your access on there, because that's going to have better video. Is going to have everything's going to be more stable. Those platforms are just so solid. You can track so straight for so long.
yeah.
I'm
looking forward to flying it.
And having the confidence to have, the O3 stuff in Integra goggles, you'll give you the long range. And today I flew with this 2200 batteries, and they're about this long. I mean, they're long, and they barely fit on that frame you have in your hand.
Wow.
That's how big the battery is. And so you can fly him for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
And because you think about it, because it's carrying the same weight as, you know, as the GoPro you added to it, because you added a good 200 grams to it. Easy.
Yeah. But it was nice. I mean, it was one flight. It was like one battery. Yeah, I didn't do the whole battery, and it was down the field and through the pine trees and went through the pine trees and then hit the road and bounced back on the road. So at that point, I said, "All right, time to pack it up. Maybe we got to go find it." Which I'm glad I did, because it started to rain a little bit right after that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like good things, I guess. So.
You did put a beeper on that, right?
Oh yeah. No, that's the way I found it. I
Yeah.
I had the controller in my hand, and I generally knew where it was without finding the goggles. Having to go through the goggles. Unlike this thing that I flew first, flying it around, and it was really windy, and I wasn't paying attention to the battery on it, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm done.
It dropped right out of the sky.
And the thing is, where I'm flying is a field, and the grass is like 2 feet high.
Oh, crap.
And I'm thinking, all right, so I know about where it was. Okay, because all right, so I go down and look for it. It's like, well, where in the hell?
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes. It's like 5. It's like, no, it's right here. It's like, all right, so like 5-10 minutes. I'm just walking the field. All right, let me go up and get the goggles. So I bring the goggles down, and I'm looking at the goggles, looking at the tree. I'm right in line with it. Where in the hell is it? So, I was like maybe 10 feet off. I'm just so.
Yeah. Can you put an air tag onto a drone?
I thought of that.
Yeah, but you'd have to be close enough to be able to Bluetooth to it.
Yeah, no, you can.
Well, it's low level Bluetooth. You might get about 100 feet.
Yeah, you might, without any interference.
Yeah.
That tall grass would be rough. It would suck the signals in.
The sound with this, the beeper isn't that loud.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but when the wind was blowing like it was, it was really blowing. You can't hear it unless you're really close to it.
Well, one thing you could do, Jenna, you fire that thing up. It is loud, so you'll be able to come get that.
Yeah, no problem.
Both of them. The other one's a vacuum cleaner. The Avada. Where's my drink?
Avada. Hey.
Okay. In honor of Uncle Bill that's in the house.
I don't have anything.
Is your virtual drink? So, Brad, you want to talk a little bit about? I know we were going to talk about hanging out with Rodney this weekend and his experience and what we did. We really, he had a really hard time flying his 5-inch this weekend, Jenna. That went up in the air and just cut off, and I'm like, please hit the trees. And he was, when I don't know, he just likes to take off high. He's a really aggressive, 200 feet up, and it just lost. Well, he was, I know what it was. He was in stabilized mode, and he thought he hit the mode switch, but he hit the unarmed switch, and he unarmed it in the middle there and dropped. And I was like, please hit the trees. And I hit the trees, and you see the leaves are flying, and all that. He came down, and it really wasn't much damage to it. It was just he lost some of those landing pads that we had to him, And that was. But anyway, go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I know we discussed it a little bit earlier, but Al and I went up to see Rodney on Saturday. Rodney wanted to get a 3D printer that I had, and I was selling. I had a brand new one in the box. Actually, I had 2 of them, and I sold one to another friend of mine. But and they were kind of just backup 3D printers because I have a couple of them already. And I thought maybe at one point I might do kind of a small print farm and have a couple of them running. And I had all kinds of high hopes of maybe doing an Etsy store at one time, but all those, it's too much out there. So I kind of stopped and didn't do that. So we went up to see Rodney on Saturday, met him right after he had coffee and friends. And we let Rodney, we worked together with Rodney to put the 3D printer together, and got it up and running about lunchtime, and did a little test cube, SHEP test cube. Some people might know that, they do 3D printing, and it worked fine. And then we ate a little bite with Rodney there at the house, and then we went to the church to fly where he always flies. And like Al said, he was having issues with his drone over and over again, and he finally got to fly some a little bit later, but I'm not sure which drone it was. But I burned up 3 of my 4 batteries for the Avata running around, through the swing set, through some signs. I mean, I got some video. I did pull the card off of my goggles right here in front of me, but I got some video of that. I could probably share if we wanted to. We don't want to get too far off topic here, but that was fun. Yeah, so I'm learning how to fly the Avata better. Rodney hooked me up with the FPV RC2 remote control. So I've got that. I'm gonna, bind that with the drone sometime in the near future and try to learn how to fly manual. It's going to be a little bit, and we'll have to, practice that. And, I've never flown FPV really. I mean, I have a Tiny Hawk 2, which I never really learned how to fly, and that's still sitting in the box. So hopefully it'll get there one day, but I could show a little bit of the video if you want, Al.
Sure, that'd be great.
Let me go ahead and I'll kind of zip through. I won't show the whole video. I want to put something together and put it, let's see, is it going to let me do it?
And Jenna, if you want to queue up one of yours, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, I could show that crash video.
Love to see how that is. That'd be awesome.
It's not.
And you too, Bob. You want to queue up and stuff? That'd be awesome.
I got a really strange, my second flight with the Mini 3 with the goggles.
Hey, Harley. Harley FPV. Greg, how are you, man? So many people here.
Hey,
Thanks for coming. Hey, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yay. Good.
Scott.
Good. Jaybird's always good at reminding people.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Ray, John, Joe. Man, there's a lot of people in here.
I got that video sitting there, Al.
Okay, I see it now.
Yep. So this was like the second battery, maybe, or third battery at the church, and just getting ready to take off here. Let's see if we can get going. And I got the audio turned down. I think it does pick up the audio to some degree, but this is the goggles. Hopefully it's not too jerky for everybody watching. Oh, and then he ran out in front of the drone as I lifted it up.
I was going to bump it, and he got really upset. What are you doing now?
Scared the crap out of me. I thought I'd hit him with the drone.
Because you know how you can hit the Avata from the side and you can bump it? I was going to bump it. Brad was going to flip out.
I hope that's not jerking around too much, everybody. But there's a couple little places to fly through, gaps, and around the church and around the shop there. And right here, there's like a wire across some of these poles.
Classic clothesline.
Yeah, clothesline. I've got this swing set stuff here, and I'm in sport mode now. I love sport mode. I'll fly normal mode if I want to get some more cinematic stuff, but just kind of playing around, testing the waters here. But there's
Brad,
a sign.
can you speak to that dot and what you're doing? So basically,
so I'm following. So you see, I just flew over that sign. So the dot is, I'm using the motion controller, and the dot is where you're going towards. Now the crosshairs is when the drone lines up to that dot, and it finally, gets to that position and follows it. So as y'all can see, I'm flying through some big gaps. It's nothing to brag about, but just flying around here. I'm going back around, I think, to the playground again. I don't want to bore everybody with too much of this, but and go through the things here a little bit. So I'm testing the waters a little bit. This is all new to me, so I know some of the FPVers are out there like, get it moving, get it through there. But
yeah, you're having a good time. That's what counts, you know.
I'm having a good time for sure. So I think as I come around this one last area here, I'm not going to show too much
under
more.
that sign.
I go under the sign this time, I think, and this is where I started doing. I did about 8 or 10 times, but I think I made it through this time, but not very fast. 15, 13. I dropped down to 13, but I made it through without hitting it.
That's good though, Brad. I mean, that's awesome.
So I know he's having a great time.
I just love the immersive. Here we go. We're going to do the sign again. I moved it up some, but I just love the immersive experience. Oh, I bailed out on that one.
It doesn't feel right. You just bail because, I ended up hitting the GoPro and ripping one of my little batteries on that sign. So you're doing great, Brad. Also,
yeah, I'm getting better at it. It's fun, but I do have 4 batteries now. I just got an extra batteries in the last week or so. I only had one for like the first 2 weeks, and that was horrible. You fly for 14 minutes and then you're done. I mean, that's it. So I know 14 minutes is a lot longer than most FPVers are able to fly with, they got multiple battery packs that fly 4 or 5 minutes a piece. But look, got a power loop that swings.
There you go. And I think Jack Rabbit would agree,
Oh, look, Scott said in the chat he came for the crash. Well, I hate to disappoint.
Jenna,
I didn't crash that time.
I guess you're up. Here we go. All right. Scott, you asked the crash, and here we go. Okay.
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
that's not Jenna.
No, okay, that's not Jenna.
No, Bob, go ahead.
Oh, no.
I didn't see you in the queue, Jenna. I'm sorry. I didn't see that, but I'm sorry.
We're at the dry lake bed. I'm with Tom Dowling here, and that's us in the background there. Let me hit play here.
And you're flying the DJI FPV. Give us some context here.
I'm flying the Mini 3 Pro. Okay. With the Avata goggles and the Motion 2 controller, so and not well.
That's another thing I want to get is the motion controller too.
Yeah, that's us down there, and and I don't want to drag this on, but I mean it's taken me a little bit of time to figure out how to do things that I feel natural with. With a regular controller. I've never been an FPV guy, kind of thing. Let me speed this along here.
Me either. I'm with you on that, Bob. I've never been an FPV guy.
Speed this. This is a dry lake bed in Jean, Nevada. This is about...
Man, it's just so no color,
Yeah.
I mean, the sky is amazing.
This is like about 40 minutes from my house. Kind of thing
in its own way.
Yeah, it's and then I think that's the end of that one there. But it's a learning experience, that's for sure. To follow that circle, and to just trust the circle,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I have a better one, another one that I don't know if you want to take another minute, but
go ahead and cue it up. I'm waiting for Jenna. I want to see Jenna's video.
Yeah, I do too. Jenna sounds way more interesting than me.
Yeah.
We're teasing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to be flying that Avata in manual mode sometime in the next month or two. I'm gonna have to practice that myself and try to get used to it. But I don't know how soon I'll be doing any power loops of playground equipment or anything.
I know, right? But the only good thing about it is the soft landing on the grass versus concrete. So
yeah, it depends on how high and how fast you're moving, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, definitely hit the tail. You'll definitely do a Joe.
I do need to get some protective stuff for the Avata, like the ribs for it, or the bumpers. Yep, and then
Brad, do you know anybody that can print that, 3D print that for you?
Well, I mean, I got a 3D printer, but I don't. I need to get the file, right.
Isn't that public domain?
I already have. Tony Files gave me some at South Florida Drone Meetup, and I lost them for a while. He gave them to me there at the hotel, and I was very grateful, very thankful of that. And I couldn't find them for the longest time. I'd had a couple of containers. Anyway, I found them the other day. And the only thing is you can't leave them on and put it in the case. So I got to take them on and off. So I didn't even have it with me when we went to fly with Rodney on Saturday.
Okay, here we are. We have another video for Bob.
Oh, okay. This one is, I became much more comfortable. This is a few days later. I'll tell you what happened. What helps is I sat with the drone and the controller and the goggles on, sat at my desk for maybe a couple hours, just going through all the menus, making sure I understood where everything was at. And, I felt it was really, helpful. This is another area outside of Las Vegas, and there's a lot of off-road guys in these. I'm going to zoom over these little, quad.
That would be so much fun right there, man. See that whole crew right there?
Yeah.
That's a toy hauler. And you drive your toys in the back of that trailer, and you take your toys with you, man.
Oh, yeah. If you can see in the distance right there, that's the Gene Dry Lake bed. They have major events out there in the off-road world there. But I mean, I just kind of got the little, doing some more camera drone kind of flying, but doing it with the goggles on. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit here.
So you're getting used to your goggles, and it takes a little bit.
Yeah, this is an area. Obviously, they're doing some kind of construction or something.
And that is so cool that you can do the Mini 3 and kind of get. Yeah, I mean, you can put your Mavic 2 Pro into FPV mode too, but not with goggles on. So this is really nice.
Yeah. So I flew out to that's I-15 that runs between Las Vegas and Los Angeles there, and we were probably a mile, maybe a half a mile away from that freeway is where we were parked. And I said, well, I can fly down to the freeway here. Let's take a look here. So that's going into Las Vegas.
Jackrabbit is jerking your chain again, man. He's like, where are the trees around here, old fart?
Yeah, you can see the distance. I'm at 27, 28, 100 feet, kind of thing. And
this is long range flying country here, man. You set up a plane, let it go.
Is that the motion controller or your remote controller? Okay,
motion controller. Yeah,
okay. Because you wouldn't see the circle with the regular.
Oh, you're right. I guess you're right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because the circle is all about where you're headed.
Yeah,
and then he's just giving a throttle. Are you maxed out on the throttle?
Maybe.
Looks like
I'm in sports mode now, and I'm going 35 miles an hour here.
Yeah. So you're almost maxed out. Yeah. There's 38, 39. So very nice, Bob. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate it. That is cool. So how do you like the immersive experience?
It's different. It is definitely different. I got to tell you, it's addicting. I think just like flying drones when I first put a drone up, it was like, I want to go do that again. I want to try that again.
An obsession.
Yes. Yes. I want to do it again. I want that fun again.
You're obsessing about it.
So now I want I'll probably be buying a Nevada here in the next month or two,
Nevada.
I got the master.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, talk about that Did you? Let's talk about that, Brad. Did you notice any difference with those props?
I didn't really notice a difference. I did put in, I don't know how many batteries on the DJI props, the five bladed props. I didn't notice really a difference, I don't think, but only when I started it up the first time when we were there with Rodney. I think one of these was hitting one of them was hitting ever so slightly right when it started up, but then it cleared up because I could hear something. Remember, I took off that first flight and I heard something and it didn't sound quite right, so I brought it back and landed, and when I took off again, it was gone. So, but that I don't know really. I haven't had enough time on the other props to know what the difference and feel for it and everything is, but I ended up getting the orange ones bright. I do have another pair. I think I got blue ones as well. So I got 2 pair of Master Air Screw props.
I like the idea of putting color on that. Really do.
Yeah, I like the bright. I like the bright colors, and yeah. So that, and then the bumpers, which I don't have right here beside me, but the case. I got everything in the case today after I did that kind of that overview review that I posted on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. If you haven't been to Brad's channel, you did put it in your channel, right?
I did. I got that queued up as well. I mean, I could show it if you want.
Sure. Go check out Brad's channel. This is his first video.
I don't do a whole lot of video editing. This is all new to me. Al showed me a number of things that I've just kind of watched and just kind of been just taking notes, I guess you would say. But Al, I got the video in the background.
I see that.
I'll play the video. It's only 1.5 minutes long, but I just kind of threw it together today just to do a review.
So this is the new Start RC Avata case. Very nice.
And again, I'm not a video expert by far. I just use my cell phone. I didn't use a GoPro or anything. This is all cell phone.
Look at those long strides you take when you walk around.
Well, this is sped up slightly as well. At one point,
Bob, you and I would have little strides.
Yeah. So kind of just trying to show all the overview stuff of it. I didn't talk in it. I didn't feel like there was a need. It's a really nice case. I mean, it's nice and cut with a laser cut.
Well, you got the pullouts. He gave you everything.
Yep, got everything in there.
Oh wow!
Actually, I didn't show it, but there's more little compartments down below as well.
I love that.
Yeah, so that came out. It's really nice. It holds everything nicely.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
And what you can't see underneath the batteries is that long rail that will charge all 4 of them at the same time.
Right. Is that the bottom?
Yep.
The battery tray there?
Underneath the RC and the drone, there's cables and some other things that I didn't show. But
well, you know what? I don't see a Duranify sticker on there.
There's no stickers on it yet.
Should be some old fart stickers on there.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Or Genesee sticker on there, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got an awesome sticker that
you did? Yeah. You had the green one. That was the green little sticker that came out.
I do need to get some stickers on the case. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, cool. Very nice, Brad. Congrats.
Oh, look, Scott said I'm going to have to send it back because it's made in China. Sorry. I knew I should have blurred that out. I should have blurred that out. So he said, and like, who else was talking about? Yeah, it holds both controllers. Start RC has another one that does not hold the RC, the FPV RC. And I knew I was going to have the FPV RC at some point, so I got that one. So, yep, that's nice.
Very good. Yeah.
And the case is not much bigger. I think it's the same size case, just different way it was cut out than the one that doesn't hold the FPV RC. So that being said, if you're going to buy one, I'd get it for the one that has the FPV RC capability, and you don't have to use that portion of it, but.
So, anybody have big plans coming up for vacations?
I do. Bob probably always going somewhere, but I'm getting ready Carrie, my wife, and I are
think
getting ready to go
Vegas is a big vacation, Brad.
Yeah. No, I know. Bob's always doing something. But
He's on vacation daily.
I'm going to be in Pensacola in 2 weeks, Pensacola,
nice.
Florida.
Oh, sweet.
And then
Nice.
I'm going to probably slip into New Orleans. And I'm not sure, Johnny might be still if he's in the chat. I'm trying to figure out if I can take any time to come by and see you and family. But I'm going to have four people with me. So I got to figure all that out. But we're staying in New Orleans overnight, one night, July 5th. So right after the July 4th holiday, during that week. So anyway, we're going to be just hanging out, and then we'll go back to Pensacola, Florida after we do one overnighter in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I love my wife was in New Orleans last week, and I didn't get to go, but it was a women's conference, so I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
But we love New Orleans. It's always
I used to go a lot with for the company I worked for, Capital One. I used to travel quite a bit before COVID, and I used to go to New Orleans a lot.
Yeah.
So that was, and I loved it. I mean, each and every time I used to walk French Quarter, and then I got to know Johnny right after even more so when Hurricane Ida hit. I was there right after that, and so. Yeah.
My pleasure there is gumbo and fried oysters and a lot of great food there. That's for sure.
There is. Yep.
That touffee and
my wife wants to go back to Cafe Du Monde and get beignets and coffee and we always.
Okay, now you're making me hungry. You got to stop. I have to eat dinner. Stop.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to drink my dinner tonight, so I'm hungry. Yeah, so let's see what everybody is saying in the chat. Anything interesting, guys? Oh, yeah.
Scott's saying sloppy roast beef. I guess that's what he's having. Or maybe New Orleans has sloppy roast beef. I'm not sure.
Oh, hey, that sounds good too.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, how many of you guys are selling drones right now? Brad, I'm selling
the Mini 2 Fly More combo, like I told a couple people.
I'm selling that too, and
2 or 3 flights on that.
Believe it or not, I'm thinking about the Mavic 2 Pro is going to get replaced by the Mavic 3 Pro. So.
I thought about trying to sell my Air 2S to get ready for the Air 3 whatever, but I think I'm just going to hold on to it, even with the Air 3 coming. We know that's coming pretty soon. At least it looks like it is. I'm just going to wait.
Well, it's also a good backup drone too. So
true, and you always have to take 2 with you because we are going to break one of them.
Yeah, something's going to break.
It's going to malfunction or something.
Yeah.
GPS error, blah blah blah. And have you guys experienced this? You've been like this same place all the time, and then one time you get like no signal of GPS, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and then you open up your phone and you look at your KP value and it's like 8 or 10. And you're like, oh crap. That's why Solar Flare just hit. Let's get out of here. Well, we've been going on for a good while, guys. I want to thank Bob here for joining us, man. So
it's wonderful. Get out there and enjoy this and help other people enjoy it. I think that's the idea here with all of our shows, talking about this and the excitement of doing it and keeping things rolling. I appreciate it.
Well, we really appreciate the advice you gave earlier where you were talking about, putting on your goggles and going through every bit of the menu through it.
Yeah.
because that's something that's critical, because when you go out to fly, you're kind of going to be under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
That you put on yourself, because you got all the juices are rolling, the adrenaline is rolling,
Yeah.
and all that. Right?
We drove 45 minutes to get here. We
you all pumped up.
We got the chairs out, the table out. We're all set. We're ready to go. I'm not going to, sit there for another 20 minutes and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right, and it's too doggone hot out there, I imagine.
Well, we now, from beginning of June till probably middle of September, you have to fly from between 6 a.m. and maybe 10:30. And that's about, because then usually by 11, it's almost 100 degrees at least, every day. So we had 100 days last summer with no precipitation and 100 days over 100 degrees in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's just crazy. And, I went down to the river this weekend where, my kids and I went down there and hung out, and the rapids were so low, nobody was able to run them.
Oh.
It was just so dry, and that's unusual. But not like you guys out there in Vegas.
No, we got a lot of water in spring coming down, flowing down from the mountains. There's the Las Vegas wetlands park and the Las Vegas Springs and stuff. And when we got a thaw here, all the mountaintops around us was covered in snow. So we do get a thaw, and we get flowing water into the city here. And Lake Mead went up 20 feet. It's been down 200 feet. But it went up. Was first positive.
Tracking in the right direction. So that's good.
Yeah.
So you guys remember Carly Cottrell? We've had it on the show. She used to live in Vegas, but she moved to the Northwest. But she did a video about how the how at what temperature she could fly her Mini at.
Oh yeah.
And I think it hit 120 degrees, and basically the iPhone started to shut down.
The iPhone shuts down way before the drone.
And so people freak out.
Air 2S was better.
Right. You freak out, you run in your car, you turn on the AC and all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
And you can just hit return home, you're okay. You come back.
Well, in like 110, I got the Air 2S probably to go maybe 16, 17 minutes before I got the overheat warning. I don't know if any of you have seen the overheat warnings, but I mean, when the processor overheating, you get this big red bar across the top of the.
Okay, it does say processor, because I've had ESC overheating errors on my Mini too. I know it was the Mini. I can't remember. In the case that the Fly More combo case flatten out your props, so the flight controller is going, hey, I need more power from you back here. Yeah. And the freaking EFC is like, oh, this is all I got. Because, the props are flat instead of being curved. And, oh, my gosh. And so everybody figured out that was a problem. I think I posted it and somebody replied back, guys, that case. Interesting stuff. No, go ahead.
Oh no! What Bob was saying, you get the overheat warning on the drone. The only thing, the visual that I had, the Air 2S coming back and a trail of smoke following behind it.
No.
That would be really cool if you wanted to over dramatize that one, Bob. Just put a smoke
bomb, timed Smoke
No,
bomb on the end.
put a cigar on it.
You could green screen it. I mean, just put it
Yeah.
behind it. Just put it out. It's pretty funny, actually.
It's overheating. Look, it's coming in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good one, Jenna. Yeah, I like
You
that
could
one.
go into Photoshop and highlight behind it and just say, flames and smoke and
Yep.
it'll just generate it for you.
And you see what Dewey said. It's only 23 degrees. Is that
Yeah.
Celsius or what?
Yeah. Yeah, too. Warm here. Yes. We get to year 43 degrees
Yeah.
in Celsius,
In Celsius, yeah. It did burn. Because 38.5 is the body temperature. I remember that when I was growing up as a child, my parents would put, that thermometer and and all the readings anywhere outside the U.S. are all in Celsius, you know. So,
we're the only weirdos, that's for sure.
Hey,
as a
if you want to fit in, you got to, I guess adhere to the club's rules.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Doing graphics, I had to learn metric. I had to, I had to do everything and measured in meters, and for every project outside of the United States, so it's part of life you have to learn.
Yeah, and the conversion is pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as centigrade to Fahrenheit.
Yeah. All good. Good. So.
Well, we've been going for an hour, guys, so we're going to shut it down.
It's been a great show.
Thanks so much for joining us. It was a good time talking about Vegas and hockey and Air 3.
Well, I'm excited to see what kind of camera that's going to. Is it going to be this 2-camera? Is multiple zoom levels? And
will they give us the ability to take photos, zoom in photo mode?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. I know. I'm going to guess one of my Golden Knights fans has one in his hands at this moment. I don't know if you guys know, but he's not faithful to Philadelphia. Billy Kyle is a wild Golden Knights fan. He's been to a few games here, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a number of people.
Jenna, hope you get to fly that 5-inch this weekend.
I hope so. The weather's not looking too cooperative. It's supposed to be kind of an icky, rainy weekend, but
yeah, you're right about that.
We'll see. The fun part, irrespective, is going to be the Kenny Chesney concert on Friday here at the golf course. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And Brad, I hope we get to fly before the weekend. Hopefully, you got to work one day and not to say sneak out, but
Well, I'm gonna say maybe I can catch up with you and see if Danny's going to fly on Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, catch up with us.
Yeah,
we'll teach you a first tower dive.
Yeah, teach me how to just get the drone in the air first.
We'll get you going. All right, everybody. Wave good night. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate
it. Nice. Thanks for coming on, Bob.
Thank you all.
Hang out behind. Hang out. Don't hang up.
Okay.